Hello, good evening, and welcome to this week's edition of the Mackmyra Inn. Sorry we're a little bit late. The door got stuck trying to open up, guys, okay? So we had to get some WD-40 and rattle it a little bit, and me and Rich had to probably get our shoulders into it, you know? But we're here, and that's all good. So again, good evening. Hey, Rich, good evening. How are you today, sir?
Very well, Mick. Thank you for asking. Shoulders sore. I should have picked different words to say there. I think, yeah, but you can get the message. But glad to be in and in the pub again.
Finally got the doors open to let our VIP patrons in this evening, and they come all the way from Doune, up just outside of Stirling, in between just up by Deanston Distillery up there. Girls from the Grail, Jen and Rachel, welcome. How are you?
Hello, I'm very good, thank you. All the better for being here in a virtual pub setting. Love it.
Jen, how are you?
Thank you very much for having us. I'm not sure. Good, thank you. Sorry, I have quite a delay on here. Sorry about that. Good, apart from that.
Brilliant. I'm sure we'll muddle through as best we can. Evening tea. How are you, pal? Bit of housekeeping first of all. Stay tuned next Wednesday. Rich, one of your pals are on next week. Sarah.
Yeah, Sarah Temple. Okay, yeah. Smoggy Whiskey Smoggy. Tune in at 7 p.m. next week. Join us in the pub there. I think it will, Mick. It will be the last pub that we have for a little while as well. So yeah, I think it is. We'll a week break for the summer. That's the last one. I'm sure it's the last one, Mick.
I know. Because the week after, I'm sure we've got Millie Milliken.
Oh, well, maybe it is. There we go.
Yeah. I think we have got a couple more left. Well,
I think it's the last indoor one, and for yours, we're out in the pub garden.
Potentially.
Yeah, that's it.
Potentially. Obviously, we've got a new release coming up soon as well. So stay tuned for more things about that coming up. A new release is on the horizon, so they're all excited. And next Thursday, Rich, we've got another monthly tasting.
Yeah.
So we'll cover our Bjork Sav and our core range. And before we get anywhere else, a big shout out to a good friend of mine, a good friend of the brand, and I think the girls know him as well. Congratulations to our good friend Shilton Almeida on the birth of his son yesterday. So congratulations, guys. Good health to mum and baby and to dad as well. So all the best for that, guys. So on that note, there's the bell. So don't panic. It's time for me and Rich to get the round in. Ladies, what are you having to drink? What have you got?
So I have this bottle here, which is dead exciting and new. If I can get it to the camera properly, it's Glen Scotia. So the bottling we got done for another. Oh, I'm so bad. I keep going that way, but I'm meant to go this way. Oh no, then I'm doing the label as well. I've not had anything to drink yet. Oh gosh, there. So yeah, this one is a bottling we got done by Glen Scotia for a shop. So it is bourbon and Pedro Jimenez sherry matured,
Nice.
all hoggies as well. Cask strength, 52.9% alcohol, teeny bit of smoke, extremely delicious.
Nice.
Beautiful. We are quite big fans of Glen Scotia, aren't we, Rich?
Yeah, big fans. And in PX, it's not something you see all too often as well, I think. So yeah, a good chance to get something quite unique.
Perfect. Right, let's see if we can get through to Jen. Jen, what have you got today, pal?
I have one that you know, actually. It is a Mackmyra, but it is an independent bottling. The Brunhund.
The Little Hund. By Little Brown Dog.
Very fruity.
Yeah, pineapple. I always get pineapple chunks in the one.
Yeah, it's really, really fruity, really pineapple-y, particularly. Yeah, definitely.
Fantastic. Rich, what have you got?
I'm going Svensk Ek or Svensk Ek. I'll show you the bottle because used to seeing the glass. Yes, I'm keeping it simple. I had a dram of this last night with the tasting that I was doing, and I don't come back to it often enough, I think. So I thought I'd just go easy. Yeah, but very good.
So I thought I'd push the boat out for my dram or my drink this evening. As we all know, I tend to start with a cocktail. Normally, it's with things that you can really normally get your hands on quite easily, but. So I've added an ingredient that's not all that common. You can still get it, but it's not all that common. So I've gone. So I don't know what to call it yet. It's a nice, long, and refreshing one. But basically, it's 40 mils of Bjork Sav, 30 mils of lab gin, 20 mil of liquor biero, the Portuguese liqueur, herbal liqueur, 10 mil of and 10 mil lemon juice, and topped up over ice with tonic water and my standard mint garnish.
Micky's mint.
So exactly. But before the show, Cole, if you're ready for it, before the show, I made the girls a drink, and this was their reaction to it.
Oh.
I can't. Oh, poor Sammy. Like, you can see the green colour that it is as well. They pride themselves in not using any artificial.
I did not resist that one. I could not resist it. So what was that you were thinking in that one?
So that was a gin made by Picknings called the Brussels Sprout gin. I'm sure anything you make would not be tasting like that at all. So just it's exactly as it says, Brussels Sprout gin. It smells and tastes like farts.
And some people do like it.
Really?
Some people do like it, but it does. It smells and tastes like farts.
Yeah. Well,
Jen, do you like it?
No.
I thought you were pointing at Jen there, Rich, because she was one of those people that liked it.
No. Is that
No.
right? Is that
Sorry.
so? That's pointing at
the other
Jane and
way.
that's pointing at Rich, and
Yeah.
that is pointing at you. Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Cool. That's great. That's great.
We always get it wrong. We've been doing this for over a year, and we always get it wrong. Always.
Yep. No, the Brussels sprout. Some people do really like it, and apparently it's really nice in a Bloody Mary. And there's different ways you can like do it up. But if I'm personally, I can't even like. It just makes me want to like throw up. It's really horrible, but it's for charity. So.
Oh, for sure. You got to give these things a go once or twice, haven't you? Do you know what I mean? Just to make sure. First time, I don't like it. Second time, I've got to make sure. No, I really don't like it. So
I
anyway,
always do like 4 times minimum to get to know something properly.
yeah,
that's not a bad rule.
Yeah. That sounds good.
An
So,
excuse to drink.
well, like we all need one. Do you know what I mean? Like we all need one. So, I suppose we should get to know a little bit more about our VIP guests. So, Jen, would you like to take us away and tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, I'll try. I hope the delay's not too bad. Hopefully you can hear me a wee bit. But yeah, I suppose like a little bit of how like we got into what we're doing.
Just you. Just about you.
Just me. It's me. Oh, what exactly? I don't know. I don't know where to start. I like whiskey. Mostly can be found hanging out with my dogs. Usually up a hill somewhere, or in normal times when the studio's open, hanging upside down off a pole somewhere as well. That's usually where I am.
That sounds interesting to me. You're not a vampire. I assume it's something else.
No, pole fitness.
Pole fitness.
Okay, right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Fantastic. And what about yourself? Tell us a bit about yourself.
I enjoy. We've been asked this a few times recently, and I'm like, what do I do when I'm not working? When do I not work? So yeah, drinking whiskey a lot of the time outside of work is fun. I also do quite enjoy yoga. I've been trying to do that a bit more recently as well. And reading books, podcasts, that kind of boring stuff. I sometimes trail around with Jen and take pictures of her trying to do pole moves on things that are not meant for that. That's fun. We enjoy that.
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, just. Oh, that's my friend Kerr. Yeah, that is a common occurrence. I often fall over often when we're on a night out, but before any drinks have been had.
Fantastic. So you girls, we're probably more commonly known as the girls from the Grail, or the Grail girls, or just Generation from the Grail. So that's obviously your spirit shop that you own. How did you manage to come around to opening that up?
Jen, do you want to go? Jen.
A love of whiskey initially, I suppose. But yeah, we'd worked in Deansbury just around the corner. we worked in a couple of other whiskey shops and things, and then just decided that we wanted to do something ourselves, and that seemed to be sensible. And yeah, we love whiskey, so it's great. We've got opposite tastes a lot of the time, so it's really good when we're buying stuff in, because something that I don't like, Rachel will love, and the other way around. So yeah, we're a good team that way, I think.
Yeah, but in agreement against the Brussels sprouts gin.
Yeah, that's one we do agree on.
That is a dirty drink, but not in a good way. Like, I have dreams about, nightmares about that drink.
We see when you talk about dirty drinks, Mick and I tend to talk quite a lot about lechik, and to me that is filth. We love it, absolutely love it. Yeah,
I may or may not have my second
that's in a
gram,
good way. Yeah,
I think I saw that Provenance one behind you, and I wondered if that was the lechik.
When did you learn how to pronounce lechik rather than Ledig?
Oh, my family are from Mull, so I think every time I've ever said any whiskey name improperly, I've been quite quickly and readily corrected. Very, very, very quickly, I would say. They're quite they're lovely, obviously, but fussy about getting the words right. Yeah.
I think, sorry, the sun has just risen to my eyes, but that's okay. I'll sort that in a second. I think quite a lot of like whiskey distillery names are a test of like, are you local? Can you say this? Like, good luck.
No, very much so. I learned to pronounce it properly just from enjoying it. And, I started off, obviously, non-native tongue speaker, as you can tell. But obviously started off calling it Ledig, pointing at the shelf, I'll have one of those Ledegs, please. And surprisingly, quite a lot of Scottish people still do that.
Most.
Yeah. I'll take a Ledig. And then obviously I got working when I worked in a whiskey shop with a guy that was a Gaelic speaker, and so a lot of the stuff he taught me the pronunciations properly, so that's the extent of my Gaelic speaking, though. Unfortunately, is distillery names and brand names. Quite funny. In fact, it's probably the extent of our Swedish speaking, Rich, as well, isn't it? Really.
I was going to say, because there are some Scottish names or of distilleries that look easy, but are actually everyone's saying them incorrectly as well. I think like Bowmore, I'm told time and time again that it's Bowmore. But I find myself saying Bowmore just out of sheer laziness, I think, from time to time, or depending on what circle I'm in at the time. But yeah, our whiskies will catch you out quite quickly as well. I mean, I'm drinking the Svensk Ek now. So Swedish oak, it means, and the EK at the end, I say ek even now, even though I know I'm supposed to say EAK or something close to it. So we've got very complicated names like Shushbarsh Rook, which looks like Korsbars Rock, and that's probably the most odd of them, I'd say, and the Hurdeteed. But even the simple ones will get you as well. And I think Swedish and Scottish distilleries definitely have that in common.
So Rach, tell us a little bit more about what you do at the Grail then, because obviously you're not just a bottle shop, are you?
No, so we do lots of. I've just got a handy assistant to close my curtains for me. Thank you so much, handy assistant. I really appreciate that. The sun, did you see that? It just came in just now. Thank you, assistant. So yeah, we do tastings is probably like a huge part of the business. We do lots and lots of tastings, especially virtual, as you guys will be doing this year as well. And that's been mega busy, and it's been a great way to get like customers and people from all around the country to join and drink together when they wouldn't usually be doing that. So it's been awesome for us, I think.
I think obviously like a few weeks ago when I did a tasting with you guys, we had people from up and down the country, didn't we? And my uncle even tuned in from Salt Ash down in Cornwall. So we had like people all the way from Cornwall. All the way up to like way past us, past Stirling and further up north, didn't we? And I suppose we found that as well, Rich, haven't we? Really going not just the pub, but obviously we do our monthly tastings, and obviously we do private tastings with clubs and shops and stuff like we did with you. And you do find, so you're not just catering to the people in and around Doune and Stirling, are you? You're literally doing tastings for people up and down the country. Have you had anybody from outside the UK join in yet?
We have.
On you go, Jane, sorry.
Yeah, we have a few places in Europe, and in fact I think I've got someone joining us on a tasting on Saturday night from Switzerland, I think.
Awesome.
Or Austria, it might be. I can't remember. I sent it so long ago, I can't remember where it was now. But to make sure it gets there.
And you guys as well, like if you had to take it from all around the world, you have tastings with people.
Yeah, I think we had lots of people joining us from across the channel for some time. I think that sort of slowed down a little bit with the changes that came into effect a few months ago that I think we're all well aware of. But we still do get people joining us from various parts, and as Micky said, that the clubs and shops that we do tastings with, and clubs especially, just that their ranks seem to have just sort of swollen with people from all over. You could, like, my local club is the Berkshire Whisky Club, and the London Whisky Club's probably the larger one closer to me, and that was just, I think, like 30 people that were all from London a year and a half ago, and now there's 140 150 people, maybe 20-25% of whom are from outside of the UK as well, or from the farther reaches of Scotland and the Orkneys and things. So it's funny how lockdown had us all stuck at home and somewhat cut off and isolated, but because a lot of people sort of embrace the virtual world, we've managed to, our community, all of us have managed to sort of expand our reach and connecting with people all over the shop. So it's funny that we're stuck in one place, but we now seem to have friends and customers and all sorts of people from various places we never would have thought about before.
Yeah, definitely. I totally agree.
Definitely, we've got a lovely.
On you go.
I just say we've got a lovely wee kind of core group of whiskey people now that join us on whiskey tastings that never would have happened if we hadn't done virtual tastings. So
yeah, because not everybody. Some I think larger organisations, I might say, were a bit slower perhaps to pick up on it. They're definitely doing it now, but I think those who started doing them relatively early at least have definitely built quite a tight knit little group around them. So I'm not surprised at all to hear that you've got this sort of like core group that keep coming back as well, and I can only imagine that will just keep growing with time as well. So yeah, good on you.
Yeah.
Definitely. So we've covered a little bit there about some of the stuff, but you guys were primarily a retailer. So how have you managed to juggle that and being a retailer during lockdown? Really, Jen, go on.
Okay, I can't tell whether I can go or not.
Yeah, no, I think
so yeah, I suppose
Rachel was waiting for you to go. Then I think that
this
is
like
the
a
virtual world in a
delay.
nutshell. Yeah.
So I suppose straight away we just switched everything to online. So we got ourselves an online shop pretty much overnight. We kind of worked overnight on getting everything online, and we offered free local delivery to all local people. So I still go out in my car and I deliver to all the local people who are ordering. It's lovely to go and see them all as well. And yeah, then we got the tasting set up. So we just send out our little tasting packs and then people join us online. And yeah, I think it was just getting it done kind of really early on, because we're a 2-person business at that stage. It was easier to do. So I understand some of the larger companies, it's harder to get going, but we were able to just kind of switch to it straight away.
Yeah, nice.
That sounds good. So obviously, so you've done that, but you've also expanded slightly from the Grail as well, though, haven't you?
Yes. So we've got another shop called Calendar Drinks Company. We've got with 2 other people. So yeah, we've got a second shop now. So that's very exciting. That's what the Glen Scotia is a Calendar Drinks Company exclusive bottling. Which way is it? That way. So I can't get that. It's been over a year and I just can't get direction at all. I'm very bad with that anyway.
You're in a room now full of people that are exactly the same. Me and Rich are. So if I'm going to point to Rich now, I just do that. Oh, that's the first time I've got it right. First time.
Yeah.
First time. Honestly, that was a pure fluke.
I got mine right just then, because about 5 minutes ago, when Rachel was trying to point to Jen and got it the wrong way, again, I practiced under the desk and then tried to think about it. So I managed to just about do it. We've learned just to not bother, basically. Yeah. That's the trick.
No, so that's 2 shops in the local area then. So that's pretty much your first 2 steps on the route to global domination. Then goes really, eh?
That is the plan, Micky. That is the plan.
Fantastic. So is there plans for shop number 3 or?
Well, we've got our hands full now, but TBC, come back to me, lockdown 459,
Oh,
and we'll maybe have another one by then.
Rach, honestly, don't curse it, pal. Because obviously the state of what's been happening lately, you know what I mean? Like, obviously,
Are you Glasgow?
I'm stuck in Glasgow, so that reminds me. What's with this egg smell, Jen? Sorry.
Oh, it's
What was it?
spam.
Spam, that's right. Spam smell. What's with that?
It's on the full video. I did explain it in slightly more context. So it's sometimes you're in Glasgow and there's the smell of. I think it's spam. Other people have contacted me since and said, no, I think it's hot dogs. Oh, no, it's definitely corned beef. I think, Rachel, you said it was more like mashed up mini cheddars. I think it's yeast or something from one of the breweries.
Right, so we've got. Are you thinking about any particular place in Glasgow?
Oh, sorry, Mick.
Well, I used to live up at the kind of Townhead area, which I think is quite close to Tennant. So I wonder if it's. Yeah. I wonder if it's in there.
So right next, so you've got Tennant's just a breeze away from there, haven't you? I'm in the other direction in Ridgely, right? So obviously, and then a bit further up that road, you've obviously got the bread factories. You've got Hovis and things like that up that way. But right next door to Tennant's though as well, you've got the independent brewery, Drygate. So you've got the Drygate there, you've got Tennant's, and then probably about 3/4 of a mile up the road, you've got the Hovis factory. Do you know what I mean? So potentially there's that mixture going on there. I mean, I don't know. As far as I know, we don't have any processed meat factories in that sort of area. As far as I know, I've not seen any anyway.
That's not.
I don't know. I have connected it to spam, but
I used to live near Mick. I used to live near the Cadbury's factory. In Slough, Sippenham Way, Burnham Way, and that was a much nicer smell. Although I'll eat a bit of spam here and there, but living near the Cadbury's plant was much better. Yeah.
That's Jane's mum comment. Did you see that? Sandra,
that's my mum.
Been on spam since she was about 3.
I don't think I've had spam since I was 3.
You can't beat it, can you? Your mum rocks up to the pub and just instantly embarrasses you.
Did you find when you were near the... Well, Sandra Laird's one of the ambassadors for the shop unofficially. She shares every single thing we post. That gal shares. Thank you, Sandra.
Brilliant. So Stuart lives in Glasgow and he agrees with the spam. I don't get it. I honestly don't get it. But then again, I suppose it's like tasting notes in whiskey, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's all very personable, and you smell something that triggers a memory or brings back something for you personally. Do you know what I mean? Because while you get spam, I might get malted milk biscuit or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. Obviously, if you spam store your malted milk biscuit start smelling of spam, maybe time to buy some from a different shop or whatever, But no, I suppose things like that are quite a personal thing, really, aren't they?
In Calendar as well, though, we've got the shortbread factory.
Oh,
that smells lovely.
Yes. Yeah, so I live updraft from the Hovis factory. So if I go out early enough in the morning, that's just a lovely smell. That probably one of the nicest smells coming up from the Parkhead direction, in all fairness.
I would hate to think about other smells. You can maybe go into detail about that another time.
So obviously you guys do quite a lot of the tastings, not only just in the shop, but your online stuff and that as well. What's probably been the most, so Rach, for you, what's probably been the most descriptive tasting note that you've ever had?
For me, myself, for a whiskey, or one that I've read?
Or one that you've heard or read?
One we always thought was hilarious when we worked at Deanston. So obviously Deanston have Tobermory Distillery, which does the Leitchig, and Bunnahabhain. One there was, on a Leitchig bottle, there was, this whiskey smells or tastes like dried flowers on a beach. And if you're being so specific, what flowers, what beach? Do you know what I mean?
If you're going to go out of your way to be that way, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but I think who does really good tasting notes generally? Actually, LBD Spirits, the bottlers at Mackmyra, they do some really funky good tasting notes. And North Star spirits always have really good tasting notes as well. Love them. And Lefroy, actually, and Smokehead. There's so many. There's so many.
Yeah, I suppose it depends on what you're into. So if you find like funky stuff in that and you're in for a bit of a read, I quite like SMWS tasting notes occasionally for just how wacky and out there it can be. And you read some of it and go, what are these people actually smoking while they're doing this? They're supposed to be drinking whiskey while writing tasting notes, not smoking stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Have you guys seen any that are really like totally like outlandish? Like I couldn't get that at all.
No, I think Mick, if I think one in my earlier days of drinking whiskey, I think I saw a note from somebody saying old boot leather, which probably isn't that exotic of a note, and I think that's something that many of us would probably actually be able to find, and whether or not it's the power of suggestion now, but I feel like I can find that from time to time. But I remember hearing that, and I just thought that sounds bizarre and bonkers to me, like, and almost like, why would I want to find that in a whiskey? Because I was in my infant days, not infant years, but infant days of being into whiskey. And I thought, old boot leather, that sounds like somewhat off-putting. But now, those are the sort of things that I go for more often than not. We're talking about, mine and Mick's like love for lead, like engine oil and funk and silage and things like that. That's sort of like this, just like gritty, grimy. Yeah, that's my
That's
jam.
one I love.
Yeah.
What was your favourite one from one of the Lefroy bottlings, Jen? Can you remember?
It was something like a hospital on fire or something, was it?
I've seen that.
Oh, I can't remember.
Yeah.
One of my favourites from a one of my favourites from a customer on a tasting was our friend Kat. She said it tastes like an elderly flapjack, which I thought was really good.
So I love all these really great tasting notes, right? I love reading them. I love hearing them on tastings and stuff like that. But it also slightly disturbs me. And I'm thinking, where were you when the hospital was on fire? What are you doing eating stinking old, like 16-week-old flapjacks to get elderly flapjack? Do you know what I mean? And it's like, I know it's people just putting like building blocks together and trying to be descriptive, right? I'm pretty confident that not very many people have stood next to burning hospitals. Do you know what I mean?
I've remembered what it was.
Oh, I know.
I've remembered what the actual notes were. It was wooden heated sea hospital for my soul.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, and that's just crazy mad, isn't it? So I do get people trying to be poetic on some things. Old floorboards in a castle museum. Kerry, which castle?
And what type of wood?
She'll give you a castle as well.
Do you know what I mean? But no, and I agree with you, Rich. If you're going to be quite descriptive and in depth, take that little step further. Name the beach, because obviously it's triggered a memory for you. Yeah, if you were a kid, I remember growing up going to Wembury Beach, which is just down in Devon there, right? Growing up there, and brilliant, Stirling Castle, fantastic, Kerry, thank you. But so if I remember like beach memories and things, that's the beach I would probably choose to input it into that. Do you know what I mean? If you're gonna go that far, but no, it's crazy. So, guys, have you ever thought about bottling your own and writing your own tasting notes for your bottling?
Yes.
Go on then,
Maybe soon. Maybe.
Well, we have kind of.
We've got our.
Well, we should write our tasting notes for this one.
We didn't do tasting notes for that, but we're hoping maybe to do some other independent bottlings. Maybe we can do the tasting notes. That's a good point, actually. We can do some funky ones.
Really? Do you know what I mean? Literally, it's all very well and good, collaborating with Glen Scotia, and that's phenomenal. And going with other distilleries, and they just bottle something for you. You have a taste and go, do you know what? I really quite like that one. They bottle it, pop your name on it, job done. There's your product, and you go, cheers, that's great, thanks very much. But you want to put a bigger footprint or a big thumbprint on it, don't you? Really? Do you know what I mean? To really make it yours, And I think doing something like that and writing your own tasting notes for it and having them on the bottle or on the tube or the box or whatever, I think would really just like put that crowning glory on that achievement. What do you reckon?
I'll not write
Yes,
spam on it.
That could be our first release. Spam.
Just call it spam.
What I'm expecting now, right, is come to the shop for like an in-store tasting day or something like that, right? And you know how sometimes people have like oat cakes or some biscuits or bits of chocolate on? I'm expecting wee chunks of spam on a plate.
Yeah, imagine if you went to a whiskey shop and they had wee chunks of spam. I'm like, oh, this is get out of here. I don't know.
I'd be available for that. I quite enjoy spam.
Oh, that would unsettle me.
You could make it really Scottish and have spam fritters.
Fried it. Well, think
Is that
on it.
not
Well,
like a
think on it later,
Caribbean
you know.
thing?
Fried spam, I think it is.
I'm just thinking.
think
Just
spam
deep
fritters
fried
are a
anything.
Caribbean thing.
Yeah, probably did originate from there, but I'm just thinking like to make it Scottish. What do you do to make food Scottish? You just deep fry it, mate. Do you know what I mean? That's basically it, isn't
Got
it?
to improve it.
Yeah, we've taken this lovely Italian pizza. How are we going to make it Scottish? So we'll chop it in half, mate, and chuck it in the deep fryer. Brilliant. What's that? Pizza crunch, mate. Why is that? Because pizza and it's crunchy. Fantastic.
It's simple.
Pizza crunch
Simple and
is
delicious.
great.
Oh, brilliant. So, what's been probably your most standout bottle that you've had in the shop? Obviously, it's Mackmyra, but second to Mackmyra, obviously. So, Jen, why don't you start us off? What's probably been the most? You've managed to get it on an available list from somebody, and you bought it in, and it's sat on the shelf, and you go, "I'm not too fussed if we don't sell that. That's just going to be fantastic just to keep looking at every day."
Oh, I couldn't really. I don't particularly go for like the limited ones or anything. But
Yeah.
one that sticks in my mind that we've had in for a wee while now that I keep going back to is the Kubokin stout cask Muscatel cask. It's really, really good. That's one that I keep thinking about.
I haven't come across
You've
that.
got it on.
What's it? It's two casks battered together. That sounds like, or is it?
Yeah. Creation number 1, I think it's called. And it's a stout cask and muscatel cask.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's all under their new. So I'm going to jump off, Rach, and apologise, right? But what do you think of the Kubokin rebranding? This isn't a Tomatin Kubokin bashing, by the way. I'm a massive fan of Kubokin, so this is. But for me personally, and 2 years ago, well, a year and a half ago, at the last in-person whiskey show in London, I met the lady responsible for it, and we had a great 20-minute debate over it, basically.
By 20-minute debate, do you mean that you stood there for 90 minutes and berated her, and then?
No, well, not her personally, because that would be very unfair. Right? But it was, yeah. No, obviously, there's. So the Kubokin, for anybody that doesn't know, is like the ghost around tomato, and it's like the smoky dog, basically. So on the old packaging, it had that. It had a smoky dog on it, and that's what Kubokin means. The new one, now while the bottle shape is a little bit wispy, there's not really any tie-in to the smoky dog, and that was my biggest disappointment with it. Really, the liquid's still fantastic, without question of doubt, but that was my biggest. And she said, well, globally, nobody really knew what the Kubokin was. So it wasn't really getting across. But with the new colour scheme and the new bottles and stuff like that caught people's eye. And they're doing loads better on sale. So I get it from that point of view, obviously. But I was a little bit upset by that. So what did you make of the rebranding on that side of life? Obviously, the bottles do look beautiful and stuff like that. But what did you make of like losing the story as such? Rach,
that was the only thing, I think. I like the new branding, but yeah, you go.
Yeah. See, to be honest, I hardly even noticed. I was just like, give me that dram, it is delicious. Did they used to have a black box? Who knows, man? Who knows? That whiskey is absolutely banging. Highly recommend that one there. That's actually, I would show you the bottle, but it's just a box I've kept because I've emptied it. I emptied it months ago. I drank it really quickly, but I've kept the box to remember what a fantastic ghostly dram that was. If it's here, then it was gone. So it was very tasty. Highly recommend. Fantastic. So no, but I do get what you mean. But yeah, I don't know. I would agree that people didn't really know the brand very well.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, Rachel. I think Mick just read Stuart's comment there. And it's put him off. I don't know. I feel like
I'm going to get into that. I see Stuart and his wife sorry, Rich. I see Stuart and his wife Gigi quite regularly, so they're going to get payback for that without questionable doubt. And obviously, they're also regulars for the girls at the Grails tastings and stuff like that as well. So yeah, they're Stuart's going to get it for that one.
Let Stuart know I'm not quite at my fighting weight at the moment. It's been a long lockdown, and but we'll see. Let's do a virtual pub in a few months, and we'll see.
Sadly, the in-person pubs will have destroyed you by then, but
that's a good point. Well, at least I can walk to those.
Oh, true. Yeah, touche.
Brilliant. So, guys, I'm very conscious that you've got to jump off to another engagement. So, on that note, that is last orders for this evening. But before we get into last orders and the whiskey scenario question, we're just gonna play another clip to set the mood for the whiskey scenario question. Carl, if you please.
I want the leg and some cheese, and I want the Cleland and some ice cream.
Yeah, I think you're right. Actually, that'd be really good.
I
want the Leipzig 18 while I'm painting a bench or a shed with creosote. That would be my ideal day.
So, and me and Rich can really relate to that because there's probably, as most people know, there's Leipzig probably gets the second most mentions, second to Mackmyra, obviously on the Mackmyra Inn.
I think today, Mick, it's probably got more.
Probably. I'm going to go on average. In fact, I'd like to see Connor and Cole run the numbers for that, actually, to see how many times we mention Mackmyra against Leipzig. And, we might end up getting paid off and doing work for Leipzig, hopefully. You never know. But no, so go. So the whiskey scenario is, Jen, I'll ask you first, is what's in your glass? Where are you? And who are you with, if anybody? Your ideal whiskey scenario.
Oh, either by a campfire or on a beach with a campfire. Yeah, well, on a beach with a campfire, somewhere in Scotland.
What's in the glass?
And something smoky.
Jen,
I think we're gonna.
Oh, sorry. So I didn't mean to jump in. It's only said a campfire on the beach. I just had this arrive today. Ben Nevis from Rogers Whisky Company, where there is literally a campfire on a beach. And inside is a smoky whiskey, a peated 6-year-old Ben Nevis from for First of Oloroso. So that could be maybe when I open that I'll send you a dram because that could be something that would suit you. Yeah.
And then top that one off. Then who are you with, if anybody?
Oh, some other whiskey fans to enjoy it with.
Yeah.
And my dogs.
Honestly, you gotta have the dog. You can't leave him home alone, can you? Do you know what I mean? That's like doggy mum neglect. You can't do that. So, what about yourself, Rach? Where are you? What's in the glass? And who are you with, if anybody?
So I'm going to be somewhere tropical. I feel like I don't know, maybe somewhere maybe in the Caribbean or something like that. Somewhere nice and warm. And for my dram, since I can have any dram at all, we once got to try the Leipzig 42-year-old, just like say Leipzig again. Let's have a dram of that, because that was fantastic. And who am I going to be with? I think I'd like to be with... I wouldn't mind if you were there, Jen. We could have a dram of that together. And the dogs.
Sounds good.
Or... Do you know Phoebe Waller-Bridge? She's funny. I like her. Maybe her.
Yeah.
Or like some kind of attractive scuba diver man. That'd be good. One of the two.
We'll have those in the Caribbean as well. I think the Electric 42 sounds like a wonderful dram to try and convert some rum drinkers if you're in the area. Not a bad one to take over there, yeah.
So any attractive scuba diver men based in the Caribbean, get out of the Grail, get out of Rachel through the Grail Facebook page, buy a couple of bottles of whiskey, and I'm sure the girls will sort you out and potentially end up with a date as well. So there you go. You never know. I didn't
days.
turn the Mackmyra Inn into the Mackmyra Inn dating show, Rich, either, you know?
It's been a weird year for everyone, man. It's been a weird year for everyone.
Hey, I'm good to flow with it. Do you know what I mean? Whatever ticks your boxes. Do you know what I mean? I'm good.
I do like scuba diving. It's good fun.
No, it is. It is. I've done it. Not so much fun in the UK.
Oh no! Have you been in the UK?
Yeah.
Oh, it's like cold.
Yeah, cold, and you can't really see much past like there, really. So on a really good day, you get maybe like an arm's length, but there are some really good like sunken wrecks and things like that around the UK.
Scapa Flow. That's the place to dive in the UK.
And that is really cold. That is really, really cold up there. But if you go down like off the south coast, just off the coast of Plymouth, they actually sunk an old Royal Navy warship just off the coast to act as a natural breakwater and a natural reef. And that's lovely down there. So it's just a couple of degrees warmer than it is up at Scapa. So if you do go scuba diving in the UK, then somewhere down around there is probably would be the tick in the box to do if you really wanted to. But yeah, I wouldn't go anywhere north of that, quite frankly.
Well, temperature off the west coast of Scotland is going to be like rather chilly, shall we say? But visibility off the west coast of Scotland will be far better than anywhere else, I think, especially around England. There are lots of lovely beaches where you can see, straight through to the bottom, and you think if it wasn't for all the clouds above, you'd think you might be in the Caribbean there as well. So perhaps that's an easier place for you to get to, Rach, to have your dram somewhere on the west coast.
No, aim high, bro. Aim high. I'm not
Like it.
do that.
Like it. Happy days. Right, guys. We'll wrap up there and let you dive off to your tasting. From the bottom of my heart, thank you very much for coming to our humble boozer this evening. You've been absolutely fantastic as always. Rich, what have we got coming up next week?
We've got Sarah Temple coming to join us for the pub next week. So we'll be learning a bit about her whiskey blog, making whiskey chocolates, and her many attendances at all sorts of whiskey fairs and shows. So that's 7:00 next Wednesday. Join us then for the pub. And then Thursday next week, we've got one of our monthly core range tastings. There might still be enough time to get involved in that. The core range 4 of ours, plus Bjork Sav are the most recent of our seasonal releases. So birch sap wine casks have been sort of heavily influenced at the finish of that. And then we've got another Mackmyra session with your friend Mick the following Wednesday, and I think that
on the 2nd. On the
2nd, we've got a yet to be announced but happening very soon new release coming out as well. So watch your space for more details there. And a Swedish whiskey and Swedish cheese evening that's going to be announced in the coming days as well. So watch out for that, and that will happen on the 10th of June. So like and subscribe, all of that stuff. And you'll be notified when it is announced. Yeah,
fantastic. Nice one. Would you like to give a shout out to anything you've got coming up soon?
Oh, I was going to say, first of all, thank you very much for having us on, and thanks for helping us with all our various tech issues and the door trouble and all that. That was really good of you. Thanks for that. I've also noticed you've had quite a lot of women on the show recently, and I think that's awesome as well, just as I noticed that. We've got a single cask tasting with Douglas Ann coming up, featuring some late egged, not a 42-year-old, unfortunately, but a 8-year-old, 9-year-old, same thing. Not same thing, years in the cask count. And then we've got some more for June that are TBC, but you can just check our website, and I'll let Jen say probably thanks as well.
Thank you very much. I wasn't wanting to speak because this delay's stupid, sorry.
No, honestly, guys, thank you very much for coming on. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your interaction and your comments and that this evening. It's been absolutely fantastic. And all that's left to say is good night and skål.
Skål.
Skål. Delayed.
Yes!